Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Koki Creative. My name is Elena, and today we are doing a speed build. You also might notice that my voice sounds a little bit different. That is because I am recovering from COVID. Super exciting. I got it on Christmas Day, which is even better. Thank you, Santa, for that one. But let's get into this build. I made this for the Shedford Hollow Windenburg save file. It is a limited pack build. If I can remember later, I'll tell you exactly what packs I used, but I just can't remember right now, honestly. I've been working on this this video for a while. I thought I was going to get it done sooner, but like I said, I got sick. And my December just did not go as planned. We'll just say that. And so I'm finally getting around to this video. I'm super excited to finally be doing this voiceover. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I do clip a lot of the video out when I edit, and it takes me a while to edit a video. If I just posted this unedited, the video would be like 30 minutes long, and I chopped it in half, so you're welcome. I do also have a habit of walking away from my computer while I'm doing these, so I have to clip out all of that too. So anyway, I did use a reference photo for this build, but I did also try to put my own spin on it because that's what I like to do for every single one of my builds. I don't like to do like 100% recreating a build I see online because honestly that's just way too frustrating. And you know what's kind of funny is as I was like posting this and looking around at some other Sims builds, I saw someone else, I'm sorry, I can't remember who, but like post a very similar build, and I was like, oh my god, we probably use the same reference photo. But anyway, okay, I have my hot water that I'm drinking on. This is so delicious. I've been drinking so much herbal tea that I'm sick of herbal tea right now, so I'm just drinking boiled water. Super exciting. So let me just tell you about this build. I built it pretty fast. I did it just in a day, which usually it takes me a couple days to do builds, but this one I just sat down and just cranked it out. Pretty proud of myself, not gonna lie. But I used a lot of debug items, as you can see, especially for like the landscaping. What I like about debug items, I've said this in other videos too, but I'm just gonna say it again, is that they're like mostly free. Sometimes rocks will cost money, but for the most part, all the landscaping stuff is free, so it keeps the cost of the house down. And even though this house is small, it has a basement, so it is definitely a little bit more pricey than just like a regular starter home or something like that. I built it for this house. They're like roommates, these two ladies. Gosh, I wish I could remember their names right now, but I wanted to give each of their bedrooms to like match their personality. I also gave them both like a little cute makeover with limited packs as well, and you can download that on the gallery, or you can also download this whole save file. There'll be a link in the description box, so check that out if you want to download this. Again, this whole save file is limited pack, so pretty great, because what I like about these series of save files is that they're all different limited packs, so a different combination of game packs, stuff packs, kits, etc. So that's pretty neat. So this lot is a 20 by 20. It's Cottage AMC, I believe is what it's called, but it's one of my favorite lots in Windenburg. And I know it's only a 20 by 20, but I just love the surrounding. It's such a pretty area. It's got lakes on either side. It even has like up on the hill, there's a easel. So if your sim doesn't have enough money for an easel, there is an easel here in this build. But if your sim doesn't have that kind of money yet, you can go up on the hill and paint, which is a great way to make money. This lot is perfect for anyone that's doing like the Rags to Riches challenge, which is like my favorite challenge, by the way, because I just enjoy that. I've never finished the 100 baby challenge. I haven't even got close to the 100 baby challenge. I think the furthest I got was like seven babies. And that's not even a tenth of the challenge. Once you get to the toddler stage, it's just like too much for me. But with this build, I wanted to make sure I did a lot of outdoor areas that were like skill building. I usually do that with my builds because I'm the kind of person, like when I play, I don't like to leave the lot as much as possible, especially with like all these loading screens. I just like having as much stuff in my house as possible. Yeah, my Sims go a little stir crazy, but whatever. So I have a woodworking bench, there's a garden, there's a grill outside, there's a telescope. Later I do add an easel upstairs. I think I might have clipped that out of the video, so if you're wondering, oh my gosh, where is that? Yes, I do have it, and it's outside. So there just really wasn't room in the interior for that. So yeah, I definitely wanted to utilize the exterior of this build, and I mean, I like the way it turned out. I think the exterior is just super darn cute. So moving on to the interior, this layout was it was a bit challenging because it's just a weird layout, and I did not decide that I wanted to do a basement until like a little bit later. Especially since it's 2 roommates, and those 2 roommates need separate bedrooms. I mean, they could share a bedroom if they wanted, but I wasn't going to do that to them. I wanted to give them their own space. I thought that would be nice. So I also want to give them like a proper dining room and 2 bathrooms, all that stuff. So obviously this house is pretty tiny on the upstairs, and I wanted to also give a decent living room. That's one thing that usually suffers in my tiny houses are the living rooms, because like that just takes up so much space. Like, sit in the kitchen if you want to chill. So I wanted to give them an actual proper sized living room, a proper sized dining room. I want to make this house feel like a legitimate house that you can really play in and have a good time in, but that also doesn't feel like overwhelming with clutter and stuff. I do add clutter, obviously, but I didn't go hard with the clutter in this one. I've been kind of avoiding going hard with clutter in a lot of my builds lately because, I mean, as someone who likes to play, it is kind of annoying when there's just a ton of clutter in a build, especially when I play with half walls. Not sure what you do, but yeah, I play with half walls. Sometimes I play with walls up if I'm like really feeling the atmosphere, but usually I play with half walls, so I don't like the way it looks when like items are floating off of the shelves. I don't mind it a little bit. I can have a little bit of floating stuff off the shelves, but I prefer if the items on the shelves are invisible, so if they can clip onto the shelves, I try to do that. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys know this. Here's a little fun fact if you didn't. You know how I use the red shelf. So if you use the red shelf or a different method to place an item on a shelf, if you do half walls, it will not disappear. You know how shelves will disappear or paintings will disappear, windows disappear when your half walls or no walls. But if you place an item on a shelf using like red shelf method or a different kind of method, like where you place it and use Alt to move it around, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, Google it. The items will appear like they're floating, and not that it's distracting by any means, but if you have so much clutter in a build and you do half walls and like every wall is covered in like books and all this, and you're like trying to click around, it's just kind of annoying. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. There is a bit of it. Even in the kitchen, you'll see it later. There will be a little bit of it, but I try to like do it so it's not distracting. And I do play test all the builds. I've said that many times before, but yeah, for totally selfish reasons too, because I want to play in these builds later. Like, I'm not building this just for everyone else. I'm building this also for me. Now we're moving on to the kitchen, and I decided to do open shelves because overhead cabinets were just looking way too bulky in this space, especially with this open area. I did a archway. As you can see, I just wanted this kitchen to look different than all my other kitchens. I try to make my kitchens always look a little bit different from each other. And then I also have this like bay window that makes the space feel a little bit bigger, but it took up a lot of the wall space where I usually would put cabinets. So I had to get a little crafty with my stuff, my placement. So I decided to do open shelves, which gives you a great opportunity to use a ton of clutter, which is great. And in order to put stuff in the bay window, you kind of have to do a little workaround. It's really awkward. You can't just place it with the walls up. You kind of have to go outside and 9 key the item that you want up there. There's a couple other methods you could do, but I found that is the easiest method to getting stuff in bay windows. I should make like a little tutorial if anyone is curious. But anyway, let's move on to this bedroom over here. This is the artist's bedroom, and it's pretty simple. I didn't want to overclutter it. But I also thought her personality, it would be very clean. It would be very neat in this bedroom. And even though it's actually a decent sized bedroom, it's kind of got this awkward layout. So I wanted to make sure that they could walk around the bed very easily. They can use the dresser. So I decided to use the back of the bed as a shelf and put little books there. I'm sick of using the same books that I always use. So I decided to do just tool mod and flip the books on their side and make my own little bookshelf and choose the colors that I wanted that I thought fit this space the best. And I didn't overdo it. I just wanted to do just a little corner of the bed with bookshelves. I imagine the sim can, like, obviously I have to use my imagination for this because they can't actually do it, but like before they go to bed they read a little chapter of the book and they put it on their dashboard. Hopefully there isn't like an earthquake and the books come tumbling down on their head, but you know, obviously all this is in my imagination because none of that actually happens. Technically there are earthquakes or volcanoes and stuff if you have that lot trait, but this lot does not have that lot trait. Speaking of lot traits, I did add a couple lot traits to this one, and oh my gosh, I can't remember. I feel like I'm like a broken record. I can't remember all of the stuff about this build because I built it like a couple weeks ago and this is my first time really looking at this again. But now we're moving on to the basement. And this, I love adding basements. It's something I always forget about, but it's a great use of space, especially if you want a big living room. And upstairs, I just put a fireplace and a nice painting above the fireplace, so there isn't an actual TV. So this is going to be the entertainment spot. One of the Sims here is also a writer, so I decided to give her her own office, her writing retreat. It's in the basement, so she doesn't have many distractions. It's kind of sad there aren't any windows, but you know, honestly, that could be good to be in the basement and not have any distractions. Again, I'm personifying all these Sims. Like, they can do whatever you want. They're at their will. But I do like to use my imagination of what would this actually be like to live there. In the basement, I did add like a cute grandfather clock. I love that grandfather clock. I always forget about it. I love all grandfather clocks. My grandparents have a ton of clocks at their house, and it's just kind of nostalgic for me to look at clocks. I love it because, I'm going on a tangent here, but whenever it's like at the top of the hour, because none of the clocks are synced up at my grandparents' house. They're kind of synced up, but you know, with a 10-minute time difference, they have like a clock that sounds like different birds. They have the classic cuckoo clock. They have a grandfather clock. So at the top of the hour, you just kind of start hearing different clocks go. And I find it, even though it could be kind of creepy, I find it very nice. And their house is also on a farm, and like you can't see other houses around. So sure, I mean, if it were a horror movie, it would be kind of creepy. But in a loving grandparent setting, it's not creepy at all. And now I'm working on the downstairs bedroom, and we are also nearing the end of this video. So thank goodness, because I keep having to clip out all my coughing during this, and it's not easy to clip out all the coughing. You might be like, why don't you just save this video for later, this voiceover for later? I have waited 3 weeks to make this. Okay, more like I've waited 2 weeks to make this video. I want to get it done. I want to be better this year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. Be consistent at my YouTube videos. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like this build. And if you like it, why don't you give it a little thumbs up, maybe subscribe, maybe leave a comment, let me know what you think. But anyway, I do hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.